Hi, everybody, and welcome to this energy forecast. I am going to be sharing the overview energy theme of 2023 and also the January 2023 energy forecast as well. Welcome to this brand new year. I'm Natalie Miles, psychic medium, writer, poet, channel. So many different job titles. And I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. I've been sharing energy forecasts for the last 6 years. And I love doing it. And I'm really excited to share more of these going forward as we move through the year. As I'm sharing, as you're listening to this, take what you need and leave the rest behind. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. And just notice how your own intuitive body feels, what intuitive hits are coming up, what pings are coming up for you as you listen to what wants to come through and to what I want to share with you today. So welcome. So I want to start with the 2023 overview, the overview energy forecast theme for 2023. So the theme for this year is moving on. Last year, 2022, was the year of polarity. And this year, it's all about moving on. We're going to be taking the leap, going on new adventures. There might be some unexpected life 180 changes that come in this moving on year. New adventures, new beginnings, a real time of the wings of change. But what's really important in this moving on energy is that you're not going to have a full roadmap. You are really going to have to listen to your intuition this year and really be in the present moment and really go from what feels right in this moving on energy. Because towards the back end of the last year and for quite a bit of last year, we also had this feeling where we didn't have an exact plan. And this learning from last year is even more heightened in this moving on energy. So if you feel like you've been in the abyss or the void, or you haven't really had an understanding of what you're moving on towards, this is going to be even more present this year, where we are really going to be looking at staying in the present moment, but also really doing what feels good in the now, not focusing on the future, not focusing on the past or what was, but really being like, okay, how can I move forward in the now of what feels good versus kind of going forward and thinking about the repercussions of the future and what that may or may not look like. In 2022, the theme of identity really came up, that we were really looking at our identity and how we wanted to show up in the world. 2023, this theme of identity is really important as well, because 2023 is the embodiment of the new identity that is breaking from the chrysalis. 2023 is the embodiment of the new identity that is breaking from the chrysalis that you formed last year in 2022. So it's a big year in that way. And really listening to how that feels in the present moment as you move on. We're going to be making peace with the past, making peace within relationships. There's going to be karmic loops and ancestral loops being looped off this year in this moving on energy. But one thing that is really important to share is it's about not trying to get others to match you in this moving on energy. It's about you can't get other people to be on your journey with you. This is about you doing you in this moving on energy. But it's not about you trying to get people to move to where you want to be or how you want to do things. And that's really important. We're all going to be on this big personal journeys of moving on and what that means for us. Yeah, it's really big. And so the theme of control in this moving on energy is going to be really prevalent. So yeah, a year of moving on. I hosted a really big event in December where I went into loads more detail about 2023, and there is a full download of this if you want to know all of the key themes, because there are many more themes that I share in this. This is a 2-hour recording, so if you want to know more about 2023 and what this moving on energy has in store, you can download it. There's a link below in the YouTube, in the little thing at the bottom with all the text, or you can head to my website, natalie-miles.com, and it's there, and I share all the key events, how it's going to show up for you personally, and in the collective. I talk about each month in detail about what might be coming up, and the energy that's been coming through for me for the year ahead. And it's really, really detailed. So if you want to know more, go and download the full version for what we are going to be facing individually and as a collective as we move through this moving on energy. And it's going to be another quick year. Last year was fast paced. This year is going to be just as quick. It's going to be really, really potent. It's a potent year ahead in this moving on energy. So that's what 2023 is all about. And it's interesting how January this month and the theme and some of the mini themes that come up in the theme for January is really kind of setting that tone in this moving on energy, because we spend most of January in a Mercury retrograde. We are in Mercury retrograde until January 18th. So there is this kind of relooking, reworking, reflecting energy in this moving on energy as we start the year of 2023. But the energy theme for January is the drop in. The drop in. Things are going to be dropping into place, new ideas, new visions. I keep getting the image of like the pieces of the puzzle begin to drop in. Ideas begin to drop in. Things will start dropping in your dream space. Also, if you've been hitting resistance to things, you might get the solution dropping in of why the resistance has been showing up, or how you can do things differently, or how you move from it to make it feel better and for the action to actually happen. And there might be a rerouting in this drop-in. It also feels like might be shocking news in this drop-in, or insights or secrets coming into light with the drop in energy. But as I shared earlier, because it is Mercury retrograde, we are going to be in this kind of dropping in energy as we reflect and rework and relook at things that's really laying the foundations for the year ahead. And I find it really fascinating, and I share this more in the more detailed overview for 2023, is that we start and end this year with a Mercury retrograde. So it's really interesting that this energy begins and it kind of bookends the start and the end of the year, which I find really, really, really fascinating. So as part of this drop-in energy, we are really going to be needing to ground to start the year and to energetically drop into our body. I've been getting this intuitive hit that we are going to be experiencing like a new frequency, a new energy in our bodies. And we're really going to be looking at that and feeling that as we move through the year. And it's also about honoring the body. If you've been watching and listening to my energy forecast, I'm always talking about honoring the body, but it feels really powerful right now as this, because as part of this drop in, we're really going to be looking at our emotions. Our emotions are really going to be bubbling up to the surface this month. Can be quite an emotional month. So as this new energy drops in, it's going to be bringing up a lot of emotions that we're being asked to move on from, but also that we're being asked to work through. And this is part of those ancestral and karmic loops being looped off, and that I mentioned that is going to be running through 2023. We really feel this in January in our relationships. And what's really interesting is that we have a full moon in Cancer as well on January 6th. So these emotions is part of also why that is coming up for us as well. So staying as present as possible as you move through the emotions that come up, move through the changes in relationships and the energy, and making sure that you feel grounded in your body, whether it's through energy clearing practices, moving your body, tapping the bottoms of your feet and bringing awareness to your feet, or going out in nature, putting your hands on the earth. If you have a grounding mat, that could be really, really helpful this month. But yeah, it is going to be a real kind of shake up, moving on, drop in month, especially around relationships. And also I want to say, like, you might also notice like drop in of like changes of behavior in your relationships. And so it's going to be could be deep conversations as well that happens as well. So yeah, and also one thing that wants to come through is it's a really big month for the inner child, a really big month of, as these ancestral and family and relationships come up, really looking at our inner child energy. And if you're getting like flashbacks of those drop-in moments from your childhood that are being asked to look at, that you're being asked to look at this month, really asking your inner child and be like, hey, what do you want to share? What do you what shall I do differently? And really seeing that energy would be really, really powerful this month. What is also really powerful in this drop in energy is sometimes we feel that the drop in and these ideas and these visions, it is a month of planting seeds. It might not necessarily be a month of action, especially in this Mercury retrograde energy. So it's really important that go slow, be kind to yourself, don't rush. Moving on in 2023 does not mean rushing. It doesn't mean going at a fast pace, and that's really important to remember as you move through 2023, and especially in January. It is a really important time that you move slow, that that there might be pauses as you're waiting for the drop in to happen. It's really interesting. This theme came up for me about 3 weeks ago, that this is what January was going to be about, and to really honor that energy. And just seeing it, like they keep showing me like things dropping in, ideas, thoughts, visions, energy. And it's interesting that the energy doesn't seem like it's coming up from the earth. It really feels like it's coming down, 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 down. That also seems to be really coming through. Money is going to be big this month as well. New ideas of making money. How you connect with your money dropping in. Money just seems like a really big theme this month as well. So just noticing, and I know some people say, oh, well, that's because people might have overspent at Christmas and there's been a lot of outgoings in December. But there just seems to be like a rework, a drop in of shift of energy around money this month. Please pay attention to your dreams. My guides keep saying that they're going to be really increasing the dream state as we move through 2023. And our dreams are going to become more vivid as we move through the year. And this is already starting right now in January. So you might have noticed that your dreams are changing, shifting, evolving, being more vivid as that happens as well. So yeah, we have January 6th, full moon in Cancer, Mercury retrograde through until January 18th. And we also have a new moon January 21st in Aquarius. When this comes up for me, I really feel like some interesting stuff's going to drop in around the new moon, but especially in the collective. New visions, new things to do with technology around the new moon as well. And how this might all show up in the collective as well. I'm interested to see what new information comes in, or what things get revealed this month, or what things get revealed around celebrities or people in the public eye, whether it's politicians or people that we see in the news. It's going to be really interesting to see what drops in from them, or how they might be moving on from something, and what that looks like this month for them. And COVID, there just also feels like there's going to be some either more news stories around that, or moving on from that. I know China is opening up its borders, and so it's going to be really interesting to see how this moving in and drop in energy really shows in that as well. Yeah, it's going to be really, really fascinating. The light just going off, that was my light. It was really fascinating. It went pooh, like dropped in as I said that, which was also really fascinating. So to recap about this moving on energy, there's a new frequency of energy dropping in. It's really important to ground, being present. Stay in the present moment as much as you can right now as you move through the month. This is going to be so important for you as you move through in this drop in energy, grounding and presence. And if you feel tired, as new energy comes in, it's always really fascinating how it drops into the body. It can make you feel tired. It can make you feel like you just want to sleep. It might give you headaches. It might bring you certain heart palpitations, or different feelings and sensations in the body that you're not used to. As these new energies drop in, that's why it's really important to be kind to yourselves as well. It's important. So in this drop in energy, you're going to be getting new ideas, you're going to be getting answers, roadblocks will be coming through, like things, the blocks will be moving through as we move through the month. I'm excited to see how this shows up in my own life, how this shows up in the collective. I'm always intrigued to see how this energy might show up for you. So if you feel called to share it with me in the comments below as you move through the month, or on social media, please share with me how the drop in energy is coming up for you. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, please share and subscribe. If there is a friend or a family member that needs to hear and watch this today, whether it's to know what the 2023 energy forecast is or what the January energy forecast theme is, please share it with them. And if you feel called to to download the full 2023 energy forecast. All the info is at my website, natalie-miles.com. It has been an absolute pleasure to share this with you today. Enjoy the drop-in. Be kind to yourself. Go slow. Please like, share, comment below. And I will be back, next month with the February energy forecast. I have a feeling this month is going to go quite quickly. I'll be back very soon with the next energy forecast. Have an awesome rest of your day, and enjoy the first month of 2023. Goodbye. Bye, everybody.